I know how hard it is to get into the league. Okay? I paid attention. I literally gave up my teenage life to get into the league. And that's the way I looked at it. From 12 until I was 21 years old, even when I did things, it was always reserved. Like this girl, I saw this girl I used to kick it with. She has 5 kids now.
How long is this answer?
But anyway, she says, you were cool, but man, you didn't drink, you don't smoke, you didn't like people that drink and smoke, you didn't want to go to the parties where there were drugs. I always
That's
thought
why you got 4 rings.
I always thought I was going, I didn't want that. I didn't want a Tiger Woods in my career. You know the only thing they talk about Tiger Woods now is 13 women. That's the dumbest thing in the world, that after all this fucking hard work, that's what you're going to be labeled. That's your obituary. That sucks. So I didn't want to be in that situation. So in the league right now, you can't be 1 in a million in America and not be worthy of being in that spot. So everybody that's in the league right now, trust me, because they're bringing Europeans over, they're bringing South American in.
That's fair. So zero.
When
you played, there were guys like Jack Haley that were just there. He was Dennis Rodman's like valet.
Well,
that's how he was perceived in the media.
He was there. He was Dennis Rodman hangout buddy. But it was funny. We're in Miami. They're hanging out all night. The bus is at 11. Jack makes it to the bus at 10:45. They go, Jack, where's Dennis? He goes, I got my own room. What do you mean, where's Dennis? And it was the first time anybody ever realized that he was like, motherfucker, I get paid to be on the team, not watch this guy. He was serious, like, y'all keep asking me. I'm not in charge of him. He's fucking Dennis Rodman.
But there's no reason the Bulls needed Jack Haley on that team.
Yeah, every single piece. Okay, we won.
How many minutes do you think Jack Haley played in that year when you had 72 wins? I'm going to say 0.
No, he played some minutes.
But he's like, if you take Herb Williams, a guy from the Knicks, where like when you're up by 20 with 4, everybody starts yelling, Herb!
Right,
Herb!
in Herb's end of his career. But when Herb was in Indiana at his spot.
Yeah. There's always that one player where you know if he's in the game, shit is over.
You know what basketball is like?
Walter
no one
McCarty
gives the same respect is soccer. Because you got basketball is like soccer. You got the strikers, and then you have the defensive players. But the defensive players get way more respect than defensive players playing basketball because you think everybody can score. But it's set up that you have defenders, and then you have offensive players. But in the world now, they only want to see guys dunk, and they only want to see the spectacular take off and the dance after the score. But you need defenders, and Jack, if it were on a different team, would have been a great defender.
I think the game now has done itself a disservice. I don't enjoy the product as much as I used to.
Can't hand check. Can't talk back to the ref. What
the Jordan rule
job can you not talk back to the referee?
You're like, what fucking foul? What are you talking about?
You can't say anything.
Technical foul. Free shot on the other end.
That really destroyed the game.
Rick Riley wrote an article for Sports Illustrated when he used to do the back page of Sports Illustrated when he said, this is like the beginning of the end of the referees, in my opinion,
right.
And the referees determining the outcome of the games and the 2 different rules that apply to everybody. Superstars getting calls. I've seen guys with my own eyes that I can't think of off the top of my head. I don't think Kobe gets calls, and I don't give a shit about the Lakers.
Gets a lot of calls.
Now,
right.
8 years ago, that kid would get destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
But Rick Riley said, hack-a-shack. Shaquille O'Neal gets the ball in the 4th quarter. Everyone on the opposing team hits his arms, tackles him, pulls on his shorts and shit, because they know if he gets to the free throw line, he's going to miss his free throws, and you're going to get the ball. That's a flagrant foul. You're not trying for the ball at all. You're just grabbing a motherfucker 15 feet away from the basket. That is the definition in the rule book of a flagrant foul is fouling someone with no intention of making a play on the ball. So it should be 2 shots and the fucking ball back.
It should be.
The Lakers should have had the ball after Shaq bricked his free throws. And Rick Riley wrote, it is a league-sanctioned flagrant foul that has a cute name to it. Other coaches go, well, and then we went into hack-a-shack. Well, you're saying then we went into flagrant fouling for 4 minutes because we sucked and we couldn't fucking keep it close. So we just we ran around hugging people for the last 4 minutes.
I tell you, I watched that hack-a-shack thing and Shaq was mad. I was like, what you should do is run to the line and you should just take your time. Because what you can do, Shaq, right now is get 20 extra points. So as opposed to going, hope I make it, should have ran in there and go, you idiots shouldn't be fouling me at all. He should have tried every shot, underhand, overhand, jump shot, finger roll. He should have tried everything until they realized he was putting the ball in the basket.
I had a much more drastic plan for Shaquille O'Neal. Turn around and punch somebody in the face.
Get fined $300,000 and
no
come back the next game.
Yeah. And then the next year, when George Karl goes, yeah, just fucking grab him. I ain't fucking grabbing Shaq. Guy's crazy.
Yeah, but it costs too much money to get fouled now.
That's because you're cheap. I think when you got Shaq money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
$300,000 for Shaq?
That's a lot of money.
Shaq's got that in his couch cushions.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you have to give
Orlando,
it back. In
Orlando, when one of his 6 cars with one ass.
Don't give it back. Keep it.
Kobe's known for something he shouldn't be known for either. Which is the quote-unquote, well, you know what? We won't put it in quote. The rape allegations in Boulder, Denver? Denver.
It was in Vail. But they don't want to say Vail. They call it Eagle Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take care of the big company.
I was back. I'm not going to say anything to get you in trouble. Don't worry, because you didn't say anything to get anybody in trouble. Because John Salley is like the super honest guy. You are the most transparent athlete I've ever met.
And if you don't like what I say, find some false in it. I'm cool. It is Africa hot in this room.
I told you it was going to be hot. We were in Bardia's office at Best Damn. And Mark
who still won't call me back. Like I call Bardia to say hello. He's at the NFL Network.
He doesn't like
Big timer. That's cool.
And Mark Mayer was there. Mm-hmm. And Mark Mayer's going, hey, Ray raped the girl. What are you going to do? Well, it's crazy. And I remember you and someone else were saying, I'm telling you, the kid I know and the kid I met, I would bet my children.
I will.
This is an absolute impossibility that Kobe Bryant raped anybody.
100% cannot do it. This European kid does not think the way we think. When I saw him with tattoos and the cars, that is not even Kobe. This cat is the most respectful guy in the world. And I got to say this to somebody. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning and a girl comes up the back way and goes into your room, she's not going to talk about Jesus. She's not. She's going up there to get it. That's the only reason that you go to a man's room who you don't know, up the back way, knowing you're not going to be on cameras, to go into the room is to get your swerve on and bounce. That, however it went from that point on, was wrong. She didn't go in there saying, I wanted to talk to him about the new kingdom. That's not the situation.
Was that what she said?
Well, no. Oh. What she said is she went in there and she wasn't expecting it. But no. The deal was when guys put themselves, now I'm not going to say I haven't been in some peculiar situations in my life, but you don't put yourself in harm. He wouldn't do that. He doesn't have that kind of ego. I'm telling you, I know this kid.
And you were saying it to a group. There was probably 8 of us in the room, and I forget who the guy. I think it was another brother, but it was a football guy.
Rodney Peete.
It was Rodney Peete, and you guys both knew Kobe well. Mm-hmm. And I've never seen anyone make a case just like, you know me, Mark, Bardia, JJ. You know me. I'm telling you, it is a scientific impossibility that Kobe Bryant raped anyone in 50 lifetimes.
50. And I'm gonna tell you this. I love that kid to death. I'm talking about anybody who has literally dealt with so many things and kept moving and knowing life was gonna move on. It cost him maybe $250 million in his image, but he didn't get convicted for it. And I'm happy that he didn't get convicted.
What part of that goes sideways? It just letting the girl in your room is mistake number 1 through 5, right? I
got a better way of even putting it. If what you want floats, flies, or have sex, you should rent it.
You should rent it?
You should rent it. So if that's what it does, you should rent it. So if that's what you really want,
Yellow Pages.
Go to Vegas. There's a bunch of it you want to get. If that's where you want to put yourself, don't put yourself in harm's way with a psycho trying to be famous on your limelight. Don't do it.
Patrice O'Neal had the best. I'm going to paraphrase it and blow it out.
Patrice.
His last interview was on this podcast.
Get out of town.
I swear to God. And the last thing he said on the podcast, you know what I realized, JJ? I'm fucking lazy. I got to start applying myself. Walked out of my hotel room.
Wow.
Fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
He said with Kobe, I can't say it because it's too dirty. I'll tell you, Mike. But look up Patrice O'Neal. I'll tell you, look up Patrice O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. Basically, she wasn't used to that. And here's the thing: anything you say on
when
this,
he said vaginal bruising.
yeah, like she just wasn't used to like yeah, bitch. You like what, bitch? What? Like he's just doing his thing. Like yeah, bitch.
Isn't that funny? No one realized how important Patrice O'Neal was, except comedians who've been around him to see this dude. Because he also didn't put color into things.
He made this shit up I've never seen anything like it in my life, John. Like he would go, so what you do, man? What you do? You tall, motherfucker. You play basketball? He'd be like, yeah. And you go, yeah, where? And you'd be like, Georgia Tech. He'd be like, Georgia Tech? Oh shit, that's in Atlanta. And then he would just talk for 10 minutes about Georgia.
Yes.
Like he was fishing in all of our minds. And sometimes he wouldn't catch any fish and he would just move on to the next person. But he knew how long to spend on that person before he moved on.
Yeah, he was amazing. I liked him as a comedian.
Which one of your championships did you enjoy the most?
The first one.
Pistons, right?
I really enjoyed the Chicago championship.
That was a crazy ass team.
Because I went on the Herd and said that Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player
Colin
ever.
Cowherd's sports radio program, The Herd?
I think Michael was the greatest in the 90s. But ever is disrespectful to Dr. J, Oscar Robinson, Jerry West.
Big O averaged a triple-double for a season.
You can't
People
say ever. In his time, he was the best in his time. And
I can say ever about somebody that, first of all, now Coach K was saying LeBron might be better than Jordan. Like, he might be the greatest that ever lived.
Coach of Syracuse. Bohan.
Oh, it was Boeheim. Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm a Knicks fan. I watch Michael more than I care to admit. I've probably seen him live as many times as Matt's done acid. Okay?
Okay.
Live. There's no one in the NBA like this that I've ever seen where when they miss a shot, you go, whew. I don't know how else to explain. When Mike went up for a jump shot and it rimmed out, you went, whew, okay.
You remember when you listened
Mike didn't miss.
When you listened to Richard Pryor's records? Uh-huh. And he talked about Jerry West. That white boy be putting some brothers to shame. 44, 45. Jerry West is no joke. You sure he ain't black? He did this joke. In the 70s, Jerry West was getting 40 games. Jerry West went to 10 championships and only came back with one. You talking about resilience and being a great player. Come on now. This guy,
the greatest white player.
He's the image of the NBA. They ain't changed it and make it Michael Jordan's image.
Yeah, the NBA logo, for those of you that don't
Jerry
know,
West.
is a silhouette of Jerry West. Who's the greatest white player to ever live, in your opinion?
Larry Bird. Yeah. That I've played against?
No, ever. I would say Larry Bird. Probably.
Oh, I can't say ever, but
why not?
Larry Bird to this day, like if I think hard enough about it, I might have a nightmare. The kid is unbelievable.
They say he's the biggest trash talker of all time.
Yo, Jay, one time I'm coming in and go, Larry, you're going to use your height on him. So you got Larry straight up.
So Larry's at the time playing small forward?
Yes.
And you're 6'11", and he's 6'7".
He's 6'9".
Oh, he's 6'9", excuse me.
And I'm like, okay. So I'm hearing tonight I got Larry Bird by myself. Jay, I don't even think I slept that afternoon. But
really?
I didn't need to. I'm telling you because he goes like this.
You strike me as a guy like, man, fuck Larry Bird.
He comes out and he looks.
Jesse, you bigger than Harold Washington? Yeah, fuck him.
And I sat there and I said, and Larry comes in the game and he's going around. They throw the ball back around. He goes, you guarding by yourself? I go, that's right, straight up. He said, y'all not double teaming me? I was like, nope, I got your ass tonight. Mouse in the house. He changed the play. He went on the box, posted up. It was like mouse, and I was like, mouse in the house. Destroyed. He was like, get this. That rock back thing, you can't,
He would say, get this?
He said, you better ask for help. Run that court. You better get a double team. I'm going to kill you tonight. You better get a double.
When would he be saying this? While
he's busting your ass. To the point when he was saying the same thing to Dr. J. Dr. J punched him in the mouth. Yeah. Remember when they had a fight?
Yeah.
Because Larry was in his ear. Think about this. This guy was running the stadium when we walked through it. By the time the visiting team gets there first, Larry Bird is running the Garden. How are you going to beat a motherfucker that is still just can't wait to get to the game?
What do you mean running the Garden?
He's running inside
running
the Garden.
The steps and stuff?
Yeah, like 5 o'clock. He's running miles and got to play 48 minutes. You don't want to play against a dude like that. He would say, when you see the Magic Johnson thing, he said, he would shoot 1,000 shots and go, I bet you Magic shot 1,500. I'm going to go shoot another 500. Because he constantly was nothing but a basketball player.
Yeah.
That cat was unbelievable.
And he'd say he'd have to hit 1,000 free throws in a row, or 100 free throws in a row, and if he missed the last one, he'd start over.
Yeah. He lived in the gym. Kiki Vandeweghe, another guy, lived in the gym. Kiki Vandeweghe was an
Led the league in
player.
scoring once.
Chris Mullin. Mully was no joke.
St. John's, baby. What's up,
Blue-eyed
Brooklyn?
soul, brother. That cat right there is, whew.
We were going to have a segment on Mohr Sports called White Guy or Black Guy,
Yeah.
and just play people's voices. Because like Lovey Smith, like, well, we're going to run the cover too and do the best we can. And then play like Chris Mullen, like, yeah, I was down in the blocks, right? And then play like
You didn't like people that drink and smoke. You didn't want to go to the parties where there were drugs. I always
That's
thought
why you got
were
4
in trouble.
rings.
I always thought I was going, I didn't want that. I didn't want a Tiger Woods in my career. You know the only thing they talk about Tiger Woods now is 13 women. That's the dumbest thing in the world, that after all this fucking hard work, that's what you're going to be labeled. That's your obituary. That sucks. So I didn't want to be in that situation. So in the league right now, you can't be 1 in a million in America and not be worthy of being in that spot. So everybody that's in the league right now, I know how hard it is to get into the league. Okay? I paid attention. I literally gave up my teenage life to get into the league. And that's the way I looked at it. From 12 until I was 21 years old, even when I did things, it was always reserved. Like this girl, I saw this girl I used to kick it with. She has 5 kids now.
How long is this answer?
But anyway, she says, you were cool, but man, you didn't drink, you don't smoke, you at his spot.
Yeah. There's always that one player where if he's in the game, shit is over.
You know what basketball is like?
Walter
no one
McCarty
gives
and
the
the
same
Clippers.
respect is soccer. Because you got basketball is like soccer. You got the strikers, and then you have the defensive players. But the defensive players get way more respect than defensive players playing basketball because you think everybody can score. But it's set up that you have defenders, and then you have offensive players. But in the world now, they only want to see guys dunk, and they only want to see the spectacular. Now, trust me, because they're bringing Europeans over, they're bringing South American in.
That's fair. So zero. When you played, there were guys like Jack Haley that were just there. He was Dennis Rodman's like valet.
Well,
that's how he was perceived in the media.
He was there. He was Dennis Rodman hangout buddy. But it was funny. We're in Miami. They're hanging out all night. The bus is at 11. Jack makes it to the bus at 10:45. They go, Jack, where's Dennis? He goes, I got my own room. What do you mean, where's Dennis? And it was the first time anybody ever realized that he was like, motherfucker, I get paid to be on the team, not watch this guy. He was serious, like, y'all keep asking me. I'm not in charge of him. He's fucking Dennis Rodman.
But there's no reason the Bulls needed Jack Haley on that team.
Yeah, every single piece. Okay, we won.
How many minutes do you think Jack Haley played in that year when you had 72 wins? I'm going to say 0.
No, he played some minutes.
But he's like, if you take Herb Williams, a guy from the Knicks, where like when you're up by 20 with 4, everybody starts yelling, Herb!
Right,
Herb!
in Herb's end of his career. But when Herb was...